have all I need on this table side. So I'm going to go to relationship to model. So this is where we're going to do a bit of data modeling, creating relationship. So this is where I'm going to examine what it has done and if it's what I want. So I'm going to just rearrange. This is a my central table is this sales data is the key informational table. So I would like that to maybe stay in the middle, stay central. Now this date table, where is that date table? I'm going to need it, so let me just drag it where I can see it. And this that is hiding in one corner. So let me start with let's start with the ones it has done and see which need some changes made to it. So this is done based on what you can click on it and you see year to year. That looks okay, so I'm going to leave it. Then but it's done this to target. I'm not going to use my exchange rate to target. So I'm going to delete this. So I'm going to right click on it and delete. So this is not what I want. What I want is not between the exchange rate and target, but the exchange rate and the sales data. So I'm going to just drag year and month from there to year and month on this, and that will do that for me. So great. Let's examine another thing it has done. It's done between the sales target and the branch data. Again, is that what I want? Let's see. I think let me just put this on this side so it becomes a bit easy for me to evaluate. So I'm going to just leave that here, and then maybe I move this up a bit, and then maybe I move this here a bit. Okay, and what other thing? I don't need this branch data to go directly to branch in my sales data, so I'm going to knock this off. I'm going to delete this. Right click, delete. Again, there is not only one way to create relationships to work. So as long as you understand the concept when we are done, you could create another way around relating all these tables and it will still work for what we want. So don't think all what I'm doing is set in stone. If it looks like you have a better way of creating a relationship, you can, and that as long as you follow the rules, then it will always work. So I'm going to expand this part. Okay, so I have a relationship here between branch and branch data. I think that is okay. I like that. I need to create a relationship between the sales data and the sales target, and I'm going to relate them based on this target key that can make me say by pizza or by branch or by year and month. So that's the one I'm going to use. Okay, now it does a single relationship. What if I want to change this? And I'm going to explain why I want to change this. You see, I'm going to relate my date table. So date table is date to date here. So once I create that relationship date to date, I want this date or anything relating to date, I want to be able to pick it from here. So if I pick a date here, I will like it to be able to also that date which controls the year and month also select for me the target, also be able to filter down to the target here. So you see this direction this is going. I can be able to from here control what is picked here, but because there is no arrow going from here to control this one, there is no way I can make my selection of date, because anything that relates to date, I want to pick it from the date table. That's the whole essence of creating a date table. That reminds me, I should have marked it as a date table. So I'm going to expand this and say I'm going to mark this as a date table. In case I'm not seeing that option here, if I go back here and I'm on the date table, and I right click, well, if I go here, I want to mark as date table. I thought I saw it just now. Saw it now, right? Yeah, mark as date table. So mark as date table. This is a good practice. Whenever you have a dedicated date table, then this is recommended. Just mark it as date table. It's going to ask you which column has the date, then the date is in date in my case, and then I do okay. So that's another good thing you want to get done whenever you have a date table or you've committed to using a particular table for your dates. So now that I've done that, I just want to explain that because I need this to be able to talk to this and control this, right? So I'm going to modify this. So modifying this is you can double click on it and it will bring up the full relationship creation menu, right? So this is the relationship we've created between this and this, right? So in this case, there's cardinality. You wouldn't want to worry too much about cardinality because there's only one correct answer, and Power BI will always pick the right answer. The only explanation is just many to one. Many to one means I can have this many times, but on this other table it's only uniquely listed once. So that's what many to one means. So I only have this one here, one showing. Any record here shows once, whereas can show multiple times here. And if you have cases where it's one to one, like I said, this will always pick the correct thing. So not too much worry about that. If you forcefully pick the wrong thing, it will complain. You know, you won't be able to do okay. So I'm going to replace it with the right one. So this is where you have flexibility. You can say single, you can say both. Because I want this to be able to talk back, like I need my sales data to be able to again communicate with the sales target so that I can do something and it flows to here. Then I'm going to change this to both. You see this apply security filter in both directions. It relates to row level security. So I'm not going to worry about that. So now I've changed this to dual direction. Another thing that I will like is, okay, what if the user picks a particular branch here or picks something in here, maybe picks a particular branch pizza here, month in here, and I'd like it to be able to, affect whatever it picks here to be able to change my date selection so that it will reflect correctly for the date that was selected in here. Then in that case, that means I want this to also be able to talk back to this, so I'm going to just modify this to be both directions. So that's the thing about both direction. I'll advise you not to use it too much. You see it complains. It lets you know that whenever you choose both, let me see. Okay, this is not letting you know, but then I'll just let you be aware up front that if you use both when single will have worked, prioritize using single. The thing about single is direction flows there. So single gives you avoids ambiguity. Ambiguity is at a point you won't be able to use both anymore, and sometimes depending on how much you've used it, you could get answers that are incorrect. You might want to just Google that to correctly understand what ambiguity with both direction mean. So, but the recommendation is very straightforward. Use single, over both, except where both is absolutely necessary. So in my case, I consider both absolutely necessary in this circumstance here. That's why I've changed to both. So is there any other thing I need to alter? So for exchange rate, I also want the exchange rate to also impact the sales target so that I can be able to calculate the sales target in USD. So this would be a good way to show you something interesting. So if I'm going to create another relationship between exchange rate and sales target, something is going to happen. See, it comes in a dotted line. This is what I mean by ambiguity now. Just because well, maybe this is just one part of it, not the entire picture of ambiguity. If I double click on this, you will see the issue. So it's telling me that if I try to make this active, you can't create a direct active relationship between sales target and exchange rate because that will introduce ambiguity between tables exchange rates and the already existing sales data. What it's saying is it makes it possible for this to go from here to here and at the same time go from here to here. So it's confused. Is it going to go, if I want to go from here to here, now I have two ways. I can go like this, way one, so from here to here, and I can go like this. This will be way two directly, right? So Power BI doesn't want you to create conflicting paths, right? So that's why it's complaining about ambiguity. I need it